their goal is the establishment, ladies and gentlemen, of the Antichrist upon the throne of the world. It is no secret to them. They believe the God of the Bible is the God of darkness, is a charlatan, an unjust, vindictive God, and that Lucifer is the savior of the human race. And it will get worse. And there will be worse incidents of terror in the heartland and all across the United States. And if they have to do it in order to disarm the American people and bring about their one-world totalitarian utopian socialist government, they are prepared to, and they will detonate an atomic weapon in an American city. And they've been preparing you for it for many months now, telling you that atomic weapons have disappeared from the old Soviet armories, that terrorists are engaged in buying weapons-grade plutonium, that countries like Iraq have nuclear reactors and are engaged in the production of atomic bombs. It's all crap, ladies and gentlemen, and it's designed to make you believe that when this happens in an American city, that we must all disarm, give up the only power that the people have to protect their freedoms, and bow down to a universal world dictatorship in order to secure ourselves from crime and drugs and terrorism. It is a manipulation on a monumental scale. And if Americans give up their arms, that will be the same hour that Americans become enslaved. It will be the day, the minute, the hour that will be marked in the history of the world that the world of human beings went backward into enslavement and serfdom, into a new dark age. You don't have to have a crystal ball to know it and be able to predict it. All you have to do is look at history, read their works, see who's in control, and understand the plan that they are following. They have never deviated from their plan, and they have used the exact same methods in every country that they have conquered all over the world. I can see it because I study history. I have been continually right in my predictions, and in fact, I can say with all honesty, and be 100% correct, that I am the only man in the world today who has been consistently accurate in every prediction that I have ever made except for one. I predicted the invasion of Panama within 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And the only time that I've ever been wrong in a prediction was when I said Manuel Noriega would not be tried in an American court of law because it goes against the law of nations. You cannot. You don't have jurisdiction. You cannot go to a foreign country, kidnap the head of that country, bring it back to your country, and place them on trial. It's an act of war. And all officials of foreign governments have diplomatic immunity. But you see, when I made that prediction, I didn't understand that they were so far along in their plan that nation-states are no longer sovereign. The illusion of diplomatic immunity is just that, an illusion. And that the world government is really already in place, and that the armed forces of the United States of America are the police force for that world order, for that world government. On July 16, 1782, at the Congress of Wilhelmsbad, an alliance was entered into by the Masonic Order and the Order of Illuminati, which has had tremendous repercussions in world history. The 2,000 lodges of the Order of Illuminati that had come into existence almost overnight joined the lodges of the Masonic Order in a worldwide organization that claimed over 3 million members. The Order of Illuminati started when the American Revolution was already underway, and therefore played no significant part in it. However, before the colonies were united, the Constitution adopted, and our republic established, 15 lodges of the Order of Illuminati were established in the 13 colonies. In 1785, the Columbian Lodge of the Order of Illuminati was established in New York City. With it were identified Governor DeWitt Clinton and later Clinton Roosevelt, Charles A. Dana, and Horace Greeley. In 1786, there was established a lodge in Virginia with which was identified Thomas Jefferson. When the Order of Illuminati was exposed as a revolutionary conspiracy in Bavaria and Weishaupt was attacked, Jefferson, an ardent Illuminist, defended Weishaupt as an enthusiastic philanthropist, exactly as Weishaupt had dictated they were to be portrayed to the masses of sheeple. The Order of Illuminati, ladies and gentlemen, rapidly gained such influence in the colonies that its members were able to force the adoption of the Order's insignia as the Great Seal of the United States of America. It can be found on the left side of the reverse of the $1 Federal Reserve note and on the old silver certificates of the Treasury. Its eye mounted on a pyramid signifies the all-seeing eye that was symbolic of Illuminism's terrorist espionage system, the counterpart of the Gestapo, the OGPU, and the NKVD, the KGB, and of the other cruel and brutal spy nets that Weishaupt's disciples have since adopted. In this country, it's known as the Central Intelligence Agency. Placing the symbol and the Great Seal of the USA was a warning that the entire power of the Republic stood behind the very conspiracy that aimed to destroy it and threatened violence supported by terrorist espionage to those who opposed the conspirators. Thus, the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, on April the 19th, 1995. Nodus Ordo Seclorum announces the New Deal, the New Order of the Ages, the New World Order of Weishaupt's Illuminists. The date on the insignia and seal base of the pyramid, MDCCLXXVI, or 1776, is not meant as the date of the Declaration of Independence, which occurred in the same year, but is the date of the founding of Weishaupt's conspiracy, the Order of Illuminati. And if you understand the machinations of the Order of the Trapezoid, then you can take those Roman numerals and apply them to the trapezoidal system, as above, so below. You can trace them back to the foundation of the Knights Templar. And you can see their goal is the establishment, ladies and gentlemen, of the Antichrist upon the throne of the world. It is no secret to them. They believe the God of the Bible is the God of darkness, is a charlatan, an unjust, vindictive God, and that Lucifer is the savior of the human race. And that he set men free when he gave man the gift of intellect in the Garden of Eden. And through the use of this gift of intellect, man himself will become God, is the promise of Satan to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Whether you believe it or not, that's what these people believe, and you'd better understand what they believe, because they are in control and they are going to affect you with their beliefs, no matter what you think or care. How about that? Never, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of the world have revolutionary conspirators been more audacious or less suspected. And they're hiding nothing. It is all out in the open. All of it can be found by anyone who wants to look. But the sheep will stumble around with wool over their eyes, bumping into each other, waiting for the Judas goat to lead them into the pens to be sheared, and then up the ramp into the slaughterhouse. Bleeding all the time. That can't happen to me. In Bavaria, as has been stated, the Order of Illuminati was exposed as a nefarious conspiracy, and it was forced underground in 1785. It was actually disclosed by an act of divine intervention when a messenger galloping down a road with saddlebags full of dispatches from Weishaupt's Bavarian Illuminati to another lodge, was struck by lightning and was killed and fell off of his horse. The people looked in the saddlebags and found the dispatches and turned them over to the government, who then exposed the conspiracy. In the United States, it continued to thrive and prosper in spite of numerous attacks from public platform and pulpit as a subversive counter-revolutionary conspiracy that aimed to destroy our government and Constitution. But that was the plan all along. You see, this country was really created, ladies and gentlemen, to give the common man a taste of freedom, something that the common man had never had in the history of the world, so as to topple the kings and queens from their thrones. And all of our founding fathers wrote about this. They warned us. They told us that the base nature of the human animal, human nature, would be our downfall. And that if we did not remain eternally vigilant and grasp our freedom and be prepared and willing to die for that freedom, using the tools that they gave us, including the second article and amendment to the Constitution, that we would lose our freedom and would be once again enslaved. They understood human nature, and they understood exactly what was going to happen, that we would backslide into a system of accepting benefits from Big Brother, giving up our freedom in return for a guarantee of a modicum of security. And freedom from hunger. Among the attackers of the Illuminati in 1798 were Reverend Jedediah Morse, President Timothy Dwight of Yale University, now one of the subversive organizations in this country. And to the chagrin of many modern Harvardites, Harvard is the source of most of the traitors who are bringing this country down, Harvard and Yale, and some of the other Ivy League colleges. David Tappan, a Harvard officer, was vehement in his attack of Illuminism. In 1800, following some riots centering about activities of the order in New York City and elsewhere, many Illuminist lodges went underground or completely merged with Masonic lodges. And I hear people say, it's a myth, there's no such thing as the Illuminati, there never was, you just made it up, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, I got to tell you folks, if you will obtain a copy of the 1828 edition of Webster's Dictionary and turn to the page that has the definition of Illuminati on it, you will not just see a small paragraph. You'll see a couple of pages of definition of the different derivations of the term illumined, Illuminati, Illuminist. And it will confirm to you that I did not make it up. It is historical fact. And if you can get some of the early editions of the Encyclopedia Britannica, you will find pages and pages on the Illuminati in there. But they're difficult to find. You see, somebody bought them up and destroyed them. But if you look hard enough, you can still find some of the earliest editions of the Encyclopedia Britannica around, which will clearly tell you that the Order of the Illuminati is not the imagination of William Cooper or anyone else. It is a real subversive organization bent upon the destruction of all existing governments, religions, and organizations of freedom in the world. Their goal is to shackle the masses of people and establish a one-world totalitarian, utopian socialist order. It is a fact. And it is coming to America and not to your local theater. I'm William Cooper. You've been listening to the Hour of the Time. Good night. God bless you. And may God save this republic.